Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Refugee to Industrial Regent, Season 2. As I mentioned last episode, I've got a fairly long list of things to do this episode. I've taken the liberty of putting the list in my clipboard. Got page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and page 5. And some of those will involve Rails, some of those will involve new locations. Yeah. So I figured the best place to start my redstone discovery is with Rails. And I'm going to start by taking out my first ores. This will also be, I think, the first time I use this smeltery to make alloys. Previously, I'd only really used it for ore doubling, which useful in its own right, but it's not all you can do with the Tinker's Construct smeltery. I went ahead and put some copper and tin in there, and we'll see what that gives us in a moment. First off, I'm going to start off by crafting an aqueous accumulator. And if you watched last season, you might have seen me craft one. There is actually one over there behind my stone generators. But I'm going to need a second one. No, not like that. Like so. So first off, the machine frame. And then the pneumatic servo. Go ahead and craft myself a bucket. Then I can throw those together with some glass and some tin, and I get an aqueous accumulator. That's the first item I need. Second up, and I went ahead and crafted the pistons off camera. I'm going to assume that you know how to make pistons at this point. It's pretty straightforward. It comes up a lot in modded Minecraft. But at any rate, the recipe you just saw makes the rolling machine. Now I need to have some power for the rolling machine. And for that, I start off by turning sticks into wooden gears. Surround them with stone to make stone gears. Surround them with copper to make copper gears. I'll go ahead and put some redstone around some silver to make a redstone transmission coil. And then combine it with more copper, the copper gears, and some redstone, and I get the steam dynamo. And you'll notice it says requires water and solid fuel. Yeah, no points for guessing where the water's coming from. But now that I've got the, and actually let me check my alloy first. Yeah, so I'm good to grab 2 full blocks of it. And then I'm also going to go ahead and grab my other 2 ores out of here. It's 1 gold and 1 silver. And yeah, my ingot cast is in here, so I'll go ahead and throw that there. Go ahead and grab my 2 blocks of bronze. I'll hold on to those for the moment. Alright. Now I can worry about power transmission. That requires some glass, some lead, and some redstone. And that gives me this leadstone energy conduit from thermal expansion. It is the most basic thermal expansion conduit. I'm not going to bother going any more advanced as of yet. I don't have what it would take to make it. Actually, let me see if I can... well, nah, in the sake of time efficiency, I'm just going to go ahead and craft other things. There is an energy cell, but it's not ready to craft yet. What is ready to craft is the carpenter. And for that I need a sturdy casing, 2 glass, and 6 bronze. And that's the carpenter from forestry. And I need that to make the ties. Well, technically I don't need it to make the ties, but it's a lot more efficient to use it to make the ties. Alright. Some rose red. Some iron ingots gives me a crowbar. I'll need that shortly. Now let me check. Okay, that is gold. That is not quite what I want yet. But that's fine. I've got some copper and some lead, and that's going to give me fluiducts. Alright, now we're ready? Yes, we are ready. We have 4 electrum ingots. I only need 1 for the moment, but I always consider it good form to empty the smeltery whenever I get the chance. So that's 2, that makes 3, and finally, this makes 4. I'll go ahead and leave the ingot cast in there. Now, let me think. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and grab the next column out of there. I can turn this redstone into a redstone block. Combine it with glass and lead. Gives me a leadstone energy cell frame. Now I grab the copper and the redstone. Go ahead and put the redstone in the corners around some electrons to get the redstone conductance coil. The redstone conductance coil, the leadstone energy cell frame, and the 3 copper. Okay, I got that slightly wrong. It turns out the conductance coil is on the bottom. But that gives me the leadstone energy cell, which, like the leadstone energy conduits, is a bottom tier. Now, the very last thing I can craft at the moment is oak wood slabs. Alright, and since I've got a little bit of excess material, I'm going to go ahead and throw the excess bronze and electrum in there. I'm also going to go ahead and bring my crowbar out to the forefront. Eat some cooked chicken, because I'm getting a little bit hungry. Wait a minute, I forgot something. One little tool, which I probably should have grabbed. And here I was, so prepared for this. Wait a minute, do I not have it? Wouldn't it be that Yeta wrench, would it? I wouldn't think so. And before you ask, those bombays are are an item ID or error, and in fact, let me actually go ahead and discard them. They're wrong. They're an item ID error that I should have caught before I started the series, but didn't. They were actually supposed to be white couches from Mr. Crayfish's furniture mod, but oh well. Alright, okay. I guess I didn't craft it yet. So what I can do is grab some iron and some silver. I'm pretty sure this is still the recipe for this. And I should be able to make... No, it is now tin. Okay. Why I thought it was silver, I don't know. But whatever the case may be, I don't already have one. Let me fix that. Real quick here. Crescent hammer, which is basically going to make it a little bit easier for me to, get these pipes oriented the way I want them to, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Okay. So first off, let me go ahead and clean up the carts and the rail tracks that are in here. I have 20 in here that I had found in previous stages. 20 will not be enough. Alright, now let me go ahead and actually grab some coal out of the bag. Now you recall last stage when I first built this rail house, I built this coke oven brick inside of it. Now, inside the coke oven brick you can put coal and you'll get coal coke and creosote oil. Now in case you haven't noticed, I put a stack of coal in there off camera so that I have some creosote oil to use for this project. And, well, actually it might not be the worst thing in the world. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay down the aqueous accumulator like so that its output is there. I'm going to put the leadstone energy cell here and the steam dynamo behind it so that it's facing the leadstone energy cell. And it should fill with water from the aqueous accumulator. And it is, very, very slowly. I will need to rectify that. I'm going to go ahead and lay down 4 of these. Go ahead and lay the carpenter here and the rolling machine here. Now, in the carpenter, I'm going to go ahead and lay the recipe of oak wood slabs, as well as populate it with oak wood slabs, until it gets a liquid in it. It's not going to know what its recipe is, but that's easy enough to fix. I think. Oh, right. I think I need a redstone torch on that, don't I? Yeah, there we go. And as you can see, that is now pulling water out of the coke oven, or not water, creosote oil, and into the carpenter. And that also tells the carpenter that the recipe is for the wooden tie. I'll need a lot of wooden ties, and a lot also of rails, which I get by putting iron in the rolling machine. It is 6 iron per 8 standard rails. But it also requires energy, which fortunately won't be too difficult in coming, just as soon as I get a couple of things sorted out. I will hold on to the coal coke for the moment. I need, I think, 4 cobblestone and 2 buckets of water, and I want to go ahead and put that up before I lose it. And did I lose another backpack? I did, didn't I? Actually, that might be another block idea, or item idea, or rather. There are still a few of those that I have to sort out. Nothing too serious, thankfully. And I still got the chance to sort them out off camera. Alright? But now that we're getting water into the aqueous accumulator, the steam dynamo is filling up properly. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw 8 cold coke into the steam dynamo. That's going to start the process of generating power. Alright. Interesting. Oh, wait. I might not have this configured right. Is that the configuration I want? No, it's not. Wait. That's not even the face I want, is it? Okay. Okay. How about like that? There we go. That's more like it. And now they're working. So now we are crafting standard rails and wooden ties. And I'll go ahead and let this run finish up off camera, and then I shall return. I'm back. As you can see from my inventory, the rails finished pretty quickly. The wooden ties will take a bit longer. And that's fine by me for the time being, because it turns out there is a second type of rail that I will need. And that is, please tell me I'm doing this right. Okay, I think okay, it looks like I got the redstone and the gold mixed up. Okay. Interesting. Did this bug out on me? Oh. Nope. It's my steam dynamo running out of power. Okay. Okay. Let's fix that. And that's going to give me these advanced rails. Now, the standard rails are very useful for crafting basic tracks. And actually, let me go ahead and show you what I mean. I'm going to take out the wooden ties that have been crafted so far. If I can get this in order. There we go. I can get wooden rail beds out of those. Now the standard tracks I can put, or not standard tracks, standard rails, I can put in a crafting table with that rail bed to get a half stack of tracks. And I'll go ahead and lock that, because tracks are going to be a very, very common build for me. Over the course of this stage, I'm going to need a massive amount of tracks. Alright, but there are, however, two other types of tracks I need. There are these booster tracks, which need redstone, in addition to the rail bed, as well as the advanced rails. I also want, let's see, there's this boarding track which requires redstone and a stone pressure plate. And actually, yeah, I'll stick with the unidirectional boarding track though for the time being. I don't yet have a use for the holding track. For the boarding track, rather. The boarding track, which is the one-directional path, I will have use for. But I also went ahead and grabbed myself a stone pressure plate, and now to make my way over here, go ahead and grab the advanced rails. That's a lot more than I expected. But at any rate, let me go ahead and set up the recipe in here for the booster tracks. I'm going to go ahead and grab 2 sets of those and lock that in place. Okay, hold on a minute. There we go. Alright. Yeah, let's see. If I recall correctly, yeah, it's like that. And that gives me the boarding track. Again, because I need a lot of those, I'll go ahead and lock that recipe. Now, I think it's also probably safe to give you a little exploration of what these do. I could use a button. So let me run actually back here. Excuse me. Grab 1 piece of stone, turn it into a button, just so I could set up a little bit of a test track. Now, the tracks, of course, are pretty straightforward. They're tracks, minecarts roll across them. They really have no special properties. Now, I'll go ahead and show you the boarding track. I'm also going to go ahead and lay down some booster track here, like so. Now, I'll go ahead and, let's see, put that there. Now, get in the minecart, and when I click the button, it will power the track and set me going, at least until I get to these booster tracks. I'll go ahead and set a redstone torch there, so that my minecart doesn't stop the next time round. And then a redstone torch there sends me back here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and actually, rather than doing that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a slight change to this configuration. Change to this configuration. I'll set the redstone torch there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and also loop the track around to here. Now, watch what happens when I get there. Set in the cart. Well, that didn't work so well. That didn't quite work as expected. Well, that's good to know, I guess. But now if I put a torch there, it will send me the other way. I sense these boarding tracks are really designed for buttons and not to be always on, like I have this one here in my test. But at any rate, I will go ahead and first off grab my crowbar, which is the correct tool for this. I'll go ahead and clean this up. Let these tracks finish up. Get the ties finished up, so on and so forth. Also get the last of the advanced rails. And then I shall return. It's time for build number 2 for this episode. As you can see, I've got a backpack full of stuff. And I'm going to start off with a stone gear that I've crafted off camera, combined with some iron, and I will go ahead and turn it into an iron gear. Now with the iron gear, I can add an iron pick, a piece of redstone, and some iron ingots, and I got the iron pick and the redstone mixed up to make a mining well. 8 glass and a ring gives me a buildcraft tank, which I can combine with the mining well to make a pump. The pump will allow me to pump liquids out of the ground. I'll be making use of that shortly. Part 2, another tank, this time on a mine cart. Hello. Maybe I have the wrong recipe? I do. It's an iron tank gauge. And for that I need iron Okay. Alright. Well, never mind then. I have a second tank that I can use later on. In the meantime, looks like I need to make this properly because I should have looked that up before I went on camera. Looks like it uses an iron tank gauge, which requires iron plates. Thankfully, those are also made in the rolling machine with iron. So all I have to do is put the iron in the rolling machine. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. Go ahead and let that craft real quick. And then just deactivate that so that it's not drawing power when I don't need it to. Now I make my way back to the workshop. Set this up, and now I have an iron tank gauge. And now I have a tank cart. And let me go ahead and put up the rest of that I won't need. While I'm at it, I shouldn't need that many torches. So I'll go ahead and put some spare torches up. Back to the workshop. Now the pump needs power. And a steam dynamo is going to be a little bit hard to set up because I'd have to provide it with fuel and all that fun stuff. These redstone engines, I don't need fuel. I just need a redstone signal. They don't provide very much power at all, but 4 of them will power a pump, which is why I'm using them here. Alright. And then as far as the rail system, because the idea is I'm going to have the pump pump the liquid through liquid ducts, and I need something to load it onto a minecart. Now, the idea is I'm going to go ahead and craft 1 liquid loader. That's going to load the liquid onto the minecart, and then the liquid unloader will unload it from the minecart at the other end. And finally, I have some glass, some wood, and some copper, which will make some fluid tanks from mariculture. They are, I think, my best bet for storing liquid on within the city of Byzantium. Now, having crafted everything, I'm going to go ahead and leave Byzantium, well, Old Town Byzantium, via the North Gate. I've actually, off camera between last episode and this one, made some preparations in this general area so that, it's a bit better lit up. And when I go out this gate at night, mobs don't spawn. Now, there is one point of contention with regards to building in this area, and you can probably see it right over there. It's lava. There is lava in the way of my building, and as it turns out, I'm going to need lava to generate some power. Yeah. I have a way to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to go and lay the pump down there. It's over the lava, so it will send a pipe into the lava. I will go ahead and place the 4 redstone engines. Let me check something. Okay. That's good. Alright. Now, I'm going to go ahead and lay down the first boarding track here for the moment. Lay down 2 regular tracks and a trio of booster tracks. How about a redstone torch to power the booster tracks? But not the boarding track yet. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and set the liquid loader on top of it. Let me think. Okay, I'm trying to think. What's my best configuration for this thing? Force full. Yeah, we'll hold the cart until completely full. Immediate. Emit redstone if no liquid was moved. I don't want that. Manual. Never emit redstone. Really don't want that. And hold empty, which will hold empty carts. I think hold empty is probably the way to go. Alright, so now I can go ahead and put the liquid ducts like so. Place down 2 redstone torches to power up the pump. And it will likely be a bit before the pump actually gets enough power to start, sending lava out. In the meantime, I can start the process of laying down the tracks. It will be a bit of a long process. I think I want to go around this here. Like so. Didn't want it there. Yeah. I mean, this is definitely something that I should be sorting out off camera. Though I can do my first test, I think. Yeah, there we go. Actually, now that I think about it, you know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and place the second boarding track here temporarily. I'm going to place a pair of stone bricks there with a button on top. And I'm going to go ahead and set my tank cart on the bottom. And go ahead and send it off. Ooh. I guess I had enough track. Okay, well, eventually the boost from those booster tracks will run out and I'll have to add more. But I'll continue building the line off camera. I shall return. Alright. I've managed to get the rail line done. I've even managed to get it covered so that mobs can't spawn on it. I don't have a lot of time. I need to get the liquid unloader and the track. There we go. Got the button. Excellent. And it looks like I got it just in time, too. Because there's the cart. Having made its way once over to the pump, filled up completely, and now it is emptying into the liquid unloader. Now, I don't want to just store it in the liquid unloader, though. I actually built this platform here with something specific in mind, and unfortunately, there we go. Alright. Now the liquid unloader is completely full. Now I need a fluid duct, and it's filling this up quite nicely. Ruh-roh. I might have missed something. Okay, there's something about these mariculture tanks that's going to give me fits, by the looks of it. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. Yeah, my Google Food's kind of failing me tonight. Well, looks like I have to do some experimentation off camera, see if I can get this working a little bit better. Also going to go ahead and install a second coke oven at my railhouse. But yeah, I will see you next time, everybody.